Good morning, folks. Matt here with the Rango-Jack Leader and Lure Company. This morning I'm going to take the opportunity to talk briefly about crayfish, crawfish, depending on where you're at. Now, typically I use them more for smallmouth bass. A lot of the larger streams and rivers around here, they're very popular. I mean, they're native. They come in a whole host of different colors, and they actually change colors throughout the year. They can be anywhere from red to orange, black. You know, I really like this purple color. It's a purple, almost translucent blue. So I use these a lot. Now, you'll generally find crayfish around rockier areas, you know, in the streams and rivers. But today, I'm just going to throw them around the pond here a little bit. Maybe catch some largemouth bass on them. I'll get out, hopefully get some video here of smallmouth fishing with them later. But we've had a tremendous amount of rain lately, and the streams and rivers are not exactly optimal for fishing. So anyway, I wanted to do a little video basically on how I rig these, how I fish them. But probably most traditional ways, probably with a jig head like this. So this is it's called a Ned jig, and it's got a lead head and a little wire keeper. It's very simple. And the way they are, the way you do it, you just insert them from the tail end. And try to get this on video the best I can, and bring it out and just pop it up through the top, and that puts your weight, you know, the lead right at the tail end, and brings the hook out the top. And what's really nice about this method is when they fall, it puts the, you know, the weight down, so they fall and they land on the bottom with, you know, the claws up, and more of a natural defensive type situation. Makes a real nice presentation. They look very natural. I'll try to get some videos of them in the water, but this is the way I've done it for a long time. Now, the way I've recently started doing it, and I've had really good success and I'm very happy, is just slightly different. What I'm doing is using this is a number 1 extra wide gap hook. It's very common. Works out great for these. The number 1 size works good for these 2.5 inch. These are 2.5 inch crayfish imitation. I call these Lucky Neds, because they're basically made for Ned fishing with the Ned jig head like I just showed you. But I call them Lucky Neds. I don't know, I like the movie True Grit, so I guess that's where that comes from, and I've had good luck with them. But the way I've been doing it recently, and I'm very happy with this method, but basically, and I use these offset wide gap hooks for a lot. You'll see me using them with all kinds of different things, you know, worms traditionally, but they just work really good for but I insert that through the bottom and then bring the point out through the top. Now it's really difficult to see here. It's kind of overcast. We don't have the best lighting, but it makes a, you know, I keep the point down. It makes a very nice weedless presentation, and they work great in rocks. Now, since there's no weight, I've been using a lot of these. These are a tungsten weight. It's a nail weight, or I've heard them called pencil weights, whatever. And all I simply do is slide that in on the very bottom, just very right up through, and embed it right into the plastic. And they're sharp and they slide right in. So what that does, it gives you some weight, and I keep it low to the bottom so they fall upright, but it also keeps it on towards the tail, so it gives it that natural defensive position in the water. But with the weight embedded in the plastic, it's just less stuff to hang up on. It's, you know, small, compact, and it just seems very natural. So now they make them in tungsten, and more traditional, I suppose, is the lead. Most people don't know this, but tungsten is considerably heavier than lead, so that's, I guess, the benefit of using that is you get, you know, more weight in a smaller package, I guess. So it keeps it compact, you know, it frees up the motion of the plastic itself, so it's not limiting it with a big bulky, you know, piece of metal in it. Actually, tungsten's 1.74, I believe, times more dense than lead, so essentially it's almost twice as heavy. So you get a lot more weight in a smaller area. I guess that's a benefit. They're more expensive than lead, which these little weights, they're on like 40 cents. So it's still not going to break the bank. You know, if you lose them, nobody likes to lose equipment, but compared to a, you know, $8 or $10 Rapala crayfish imitation or a Rebel, the wee Craws, they're amazing lures. I've used them for a long time, but their price is definitely something to worry about if you're going to go out and get snags all day long. So I guess this is a more affordable option, at least it is for me anyway. But so I'm going to throw these around this pond a little bit, and I've caught some largemouth on them. Maybe we'll catch some crappie today. I'll try to get down to the river, and that's where these really shine on smallmouth, and get some rocky areas. And you're not just limited either. I mean, I caught a huge sheephead, a freshwater drum, down in Mahoning Creek just a few weeks ago on this, might have been this very same lure. I don't know. It was the same size, same color. So I guess it's important not to limit your options, or, you know, not to get so focused or hung up on catching anything in particular, but just get out and throw lures around and see what maybe you catch. So I'll add some video of how they swim in the water, how they land, how they react, you know, with different structure, and hopefully, you know, get a few catches on video, and you can see, you know, see that they do work, I guess. But anyhow, I'll try to add some more video on. Hopefully the videos get better. I know I'm a little, you know, I'm no cameraman, but bear with me. Try to give you as much information as I can, and try to keep things simple. So I got, I say, a 2.5 inch Lucky Ned, a 16th ounce tungsten nail weight, #1 hook. I have it on my BFS rod and reel setup. It's just a lightweight 6-foot rod. BFS, as a side note, I guess it stands for Bait Finesse System, or however you want to consider it, but it's relatively new in this United States. It's been around overseas for a long time. The concept's basically ultralight bait casters, which, you know, more compact. For me, I just like it. I have more control over it. But so anyhow, that's the setup I used for this. So I'm going to throw these around a little bit and maybe catch a few. Again, I'll edit the video the best I can, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get a little bit of information, and everybody have a nice day. Thanks for watching.